All right, everybody, it's your boy Ed Diaz again, and today we're going to tackle a topic that has been talked about a ton, but I also think that not a lot of people really understand it or see the bigger picture importance of it. So we're going to jump off today, and we have our guy here, Jason Cortez of Urbatech, and we're going to be tackling ADUs. If you don't know about them, auxiliary dwelling units, this is the man who's going to guide us and answer all of our questions. And of course, you see his phone number there. So make sure that you reach out to him because you all know it's no secret. And this has been going on for a long time. We have a shortage of housing, folks, right? So this ADU is a huge response and tool to be able to alleviate that. And for those of you who are just maybe looking for some additional income and you got a really cool backyard, listen up. So, Jason, thank you so much for showing up, man. I appreciate you. This is a
Of
topic that,
course,
as
no
you
worries,
know,
Ed.
a lot of information, a lot of misinformation out there. And so I'm
Yes,
thankful that you're here
yes.
today because we're going to chop it up and talk about these ADUs. So let's start out with just talking about the very basics. What is an ADU?
Great question. I get this a lot, and it started right at home. Like, when I spoke to friends and family about it,
Sure.
I was like, hey, I sell ADUs, my company, that I represent, we are a design build firm. And, you say this type of jargon to people that aren't familiar with contractors or building, and they're like, what? Like, what does that mean? So, to give you the most basic of basic answers, an accessory or auxiliary dwelling unit is an add-on home. A lot of people here in California know them as casitas, as mother-in-law homes, as guest homes.
In-laws?
The yes,
Okay.
exactly. So,
Okay.
they are most of the time detached units. Very popular ones are detached garage conversions. I'm sure you might have seen those before where it
I
looks like a
have.
garage. As soon as
Yep.
you walk in there, it's like a real home. So that's what we're talking about. To give out some fun facts for you guys, here in the state of California, there is more unpermitted accessory dwelling units than there are permitted. So it's a good choice to go with someone that does a good job, obviously, and you do your due diligence when going with a builder. So today I want to give you guys as much information as possible. I don't want to overload you. I do want to get you guys to understand what ADUs are, who benefits from them, and obviously any questions that come my way, as complex as they are, I can handle them. But this is I want to make sure everyone can understand what ADUs are and how to tackle the process itself. So I'll
Beautiful.
start it off. If you have any questions for me as well, Ed, I'd love to answer them. But one nice fact that I like to throw out as to why I am so enthusiastic about the ADUs and what I do here for Urbatech Development is because there's currently a housing crisis here in the state of California. I'm aware everyone knows that. I'm sure everyone's aware of that fact. But here's a good number so you guys can kind of get into comparison of how bad it actually is. We actually need about 300,000 homes or so to be built a year to combat the housing crisis right now. We are at a current pace of 75,000 or so a year. So you guys can tell right off the bat that is not enough to cover what we
Not
need
even
uh,
close.
to to address, yeah, this housing crisis. So what do we do? Especially with the way the market is now. I'm sure realtors might know this, people in mortgage might know that the rates are not what they used to be. It's just like gas. Everyone remembers the glory days when they were down at $2 or 2% in this sense. But sometimes the what's the next answer for people that are investors or people that are looking to bring family closer to home? Well, instead of buying another property, why not build on the one we have now? So there is a lot of different methods of tackling an ADU. I have clients with the smallest of property lots and the ones with the biggest acres and tons of acres that you can think of, but there is different methods. So one of the most popular ones is a detached ADU. That is where it's completely separate from the property. It doesn't touch the main building envelope whatsoever. It has some separation to it. So it's a completely separate structure. And that one's very popular for renters. Now they get their own privacy. A lot of the times we're able to separate the utility lines and make sure that they get their own bill. So it is like its own separate house in a sense. The next one that's very popular is an attached ADU. This one's popular because it allows us to bypass some of the separation rules. Now, if we have a small backyard, and we have to stay a certain length away from the main building and from the property lines, maybe we could hug the main property by staying attached to it. And all it means is it's attached to the same building, but it doesn't necessarily have to share a door or an entrance with itself. So that's a really cool fact. Another one that's very popular is a garage conversion, as mentioned earlier. This one comes in many forms. I'm sure you guys have seen detached garages before. Obviously, the most common one is a garage that's attached to your main building. We are able to convert those garages as well. And what's really cool is, we deal with a lot of people here that are investors, and you think that the main base of my clients are investors, but at the end of the day, the people that buy more from me are usually people that are building for their family members, for their mother-in-law, for the parents that are aging and they need them to be closer to home, because we do a quality build, custom designed product with our ADUs, and that's here at Urbatect. So I do want to give you guys information in regards to ADUs, but also how we handle ADUs here at this company. So that's what we do. We did get awarded as the #1 design build company in California by Build Magazine. That's for this year in 2023. And we are among the 1% of contractors in the entire state of California. This is all verifiable information, guys. So we love to give the clients what they want. We give them a quality grade product. My job here as a consultant at Urbatect is to handle every project with care. So we have some that are very big and complex, and we have some that's just a square box in the backyard for mother-in-law, 500 square feet, super simple. But it doesn't matter. I have to make sure that all the check marks are checked off. All our T's are crossed and all our I's are dotted. Because we want to make sure that we don't overpromise and underdeliver. We want to make sure we do this the exact right way. So what does that look like? So Ed, say you were to call me today and ask me, hey, I'm interested in information on an ADU. We know we have to build it for my family member, and I have no clue how to tackle this project. Jason, give me some info. Great. First of all, we find the intent behind it. We find out where it's located, what the property lot looks like. Is there solar on the main home? Are we cutting the utility apart to separate it? Is there overhead hanging electric lines? Is there trees 10 feet and over? Is there like a very long lot where there's trenching involved that's over 150 feet? Just all these little details. I ask that up front and I say, hey, Ed, after we've covered all of that and we know the size, how many bedrooms, the shape of it, vaulted ceilings, all that good stuff. Once we know those details, great. Let me give you a little bit of a rough ballpark. And the next step would be hop on Zoom as me and you are doing now, Ed. And what that would entail is me actually hopping online and going on this app called Symbium. We use Google Map, Google Earth to kind of look over your property and show you what we see on our end as a consultant, and to share that with you. So we'll share you with the screen a page called Symbium. It's a cool app that we use. It just lets us see where your property lines are at, and for us to kind of draw where the ADU will be. Super simple stuff just to visualize it, but to also see if it's even possible. And then once we get it, we'll hash out the details like, hey, do you want it up here in this corner? Or where did you envision it? Oh, right in the middle. Got it. It's an L shape. Great. We can do that. All those little details that are fun for the client, we handle those. And now they know, one, the rough ballpark, where it's going to be located, all the details as like, is there solar? Are we doing fire sprinklers? Is there trenching? Is there a patio? Or how detailed is this project? Once we hash out those details, the next step is myself as a consultant and a project manager head out to your property, whether it be in North Bay, in San Diego, in Los Angeles. The limit is endless. There is no limit for us. So we are able to go out there. One question I get all the time, Ed, is, are you guys local? I only want to work with local people. I understand that 100%. We have project managers in all areas of California. So yes, we have boots in the ground there in your backyard. They can be there shortly. And just because I'm here located in Central California doesn't mean we have someone nearby in your neighborhood. So that's how we address that, to let them know that we are nearby no matter where they are. Once we head out there, it would be me and a project manager. We draw out the property lot. We find out what the dimensions are, what type of work is involved. We actually put some stakes in the ground to show you where the ADU will be located. helps people visualize it a lot more. It's really fun. And once we get to that portion, now we know all the what ifs. We saw it in person. We saw if there's, overhead lines that we didn't catch earlier, a little bit of a slope. Now we ran into a little bit of a setback. We make sure we catch that up front. So when we finally put that detailed proposal in front of you, that's it. There's no going back and forth. We're not going to penny and dime you. It's all inclusive. We make sure we cover all the work to whatever extent it may be. And then once we get past that portion, obviously we help them find someone to do finance for them. And then we push forward with the contract and break ground, hopefully within 6 months. So that's what our process looks like. The ETA for a lot of projects, unless it's super complex, is about 8 to 12 months right now. So a lot of the projects I've been selling recently are going to be completed in, March, April, February of next year. So that's really exciting. I'm going to get to see something that's going to be there for a very long time and that I helped orchestrate. So that is why I am so enthusiastic about my job. The fact that I have Urbatect Development is the company that I represent, where number one, that's what makes me so excited every day to come to work, network, and talk to all kinds of people and spread all the information I have and let them know how they can benefit from it as well. So that's really what we love to do here. A lot of the people here are the same way. If you guys can tell from the way I talk about ADUs, they get me really excited. We are very invested in our craft and we love learning updates, new codes, and stuff like that. So please reach out to me at any time if you're watching this. If you guys have any questions, just information. I get that call all the time. I always preach it to the choir. I tell everyone, 75% of the work I do goes not paid. So I don't mind that at all, because that's usually how customers want to buy from you, because you provide so much service. The other guy didn't do any of that, they can see you care. So that's really what I like to do for our clients. We provide that type of service where they know service is senior to sales. ADUs are a very big project. A lot of people don't know how to handle them. I hear ballparks that are or budgets that are insanely small or insanely big because they don't know where the market is. And it's all dependent upon where you are, the location, how detailed the project is. Is there solar? What size is it? Is there grading? Is there slopes involved? Where are we building this? 1 story, 2 story. There's so much that go into it. So one of the questions I hear all the time is, great, you build ADUs, what's the price per square feet? And I wish I had an answer for you. Let me get some answers from you first, and then I'll give you a ballpark. So we know if, we'll know if it's even worth continuing this conversation, because we're not the right fit for everybody, but we are the right fit for everyone that's looking for a quality grade product. So, if you have any other questions, Ed, I would love to answer them. Any information regarding ADUs, I'm here as a wealth of information for everyone.
No, this is great, man. And, I can relate to a lot of the things that you've said, especially I love the phrase that you said, which is services senior to sales, because it's so
It
true. I
is.
mean, we're consultants, right? We're educators
Mhm.
first and foremost. So I love that approach. I love the fact that you're so passionate about it. I'm equally as passionate as well. And I want to spread the news that ADUs are a great option if you own a property. Like I know out here in San Francisco in the avenues, man, that is just fertile ground for
Yes.
ADUs. And I'm hoping for all of you who live in the avenues that are watching this, you should call Jason and at least, talk with him to see what the possibilities are. Now, from what I'm extrapolating from what you said, it sounds like you guys are A to Z, meaning that you have architects, you have engineers, you have everybody in house, and you guys take care of permitting. Give me a sense of everything that you guys actually tackle besides the
Yes.
building of it,
So
right?
exactly. So there's two ways to tackle this type of project, Ed. Let's say you're brand new to this field, you know nothing about ADUs, you know you need it, but you don't know how you're going to get it. So let's start this off about how you would start this process. You might go down the route where you look for a GC, mom and pop shop general contractor, someone that, you know, has like maybe 4 or 5 projects going on at the time, and they're one van type of a few members of the team, and that's it. The difference between going with a small mom and pop as opposed to a big firm like us is we do what you just said exactly, A to Z. We cover everything. We have everything in house. The best part I tell everyone is we sell peace of mind and a quality build. So it's a one contract. You don't have to deal with 6, 7 different contractors. one for framing, one for the foundation, one for roofing. The reason I bring this up and why it's so important to consider going with the firm and a one-stop shop as opposed to a general contractor is because, the biggest one is you deal with one contract. Think about it. If you're dealing with someone that does foundation, a whole different company that does framing, a whole different one for electrical and plumbing, one guy might have done their step wrong to where now the next one gets delayed, and then the next one gets delayed, and then that one gets delayed after that. So you go into spending all kinds of extra money to fix things that were done wrong by one contractor and not the other. And the other one is delayed now because of that one. All kinds of problems we see. We see general contractors that underbid by a lot and abandon the job. I have a ton of clients that reach out to me and tell me, hey, we have a foundation poured, but that's it. We have plans, but the guy's not even helping us out. He submitted plans a year ago and we still haven't even broke ground. I hear the most you can think of. There's people that are actually well versed in what I do and still reach out to me for help. I'm currently working with an engineer up there in North Bay. He designed his main property on the house he lives on now, and he designed it. He knows how to do all of that. He's worked with residential. Now he tried to take a whack at an ADU, and he got a lot of revisions and a lot of things that needed to get fixed from the planning department. So he said, you know what? Instead of going through the hassle of having to learn all these new codes and do all this stuff to know how to get it done right, I'm going to just find someone like Jason that can do everything for me. And it's peace of mind. He goes to the planning department, the building department, the sewer, everybody that's involved that has to do an inspection on this or has their hand in the ADU process. We make sure we contact them when we get everything taken care of. So how does that work? It's communication. So we have people that handle permits only. We have people that do just the engineering, interior design. The architect is all in home. The workers are here in home as well. So yes, that makes it a streamlined process. It gets away from all of the hassle of what ifs. This guy told me around this amount that was way cheaper, but ended up being way more than what I might have quoted because they didn't know what they were doing. Now, the biggest thing here is time and money. That's it. If that's important to you, I would not recommend going with the cheaper bid, the mom and pop, the verbal quote, the very vague,
Yeah.
detailed, itemized proposal. It's always good to compare apples to oranges. And I don't say apples to apples because we don't compare with anyone else. So I love to show people why we're above and beyond way better than other
I love
people
the
or
confidence,
other
man. And you're
contracts.
right.
Yeah.
It's always important to measure twice and cut once, right?
Yes.
Very, very,
Yes.
very important. So let's talk a little bit about just give me some parameters around detached and attached, some kind
Great.
of some rules behind that. I mean, how big can you make them? Can it be 2 stories? I heard that you could do two ADUs and a junior on one
Yes.
lot.
Yes.
Those kind of things.
So
Just kind of walk us through it.
this one's really interesting to me because I get people that are wanting return of investment. They don't want to leave their house either. Or maybe they want the max amount of return of investment and get a duplex, triplex going. So yes, there is possibilities to do that on every property lot here in California now. There might be different guidelines or standards that need to be met per municipality, but we've worked everywhere you guys can think of in California. We love to tackle every project as complex as it may be. Now, to get to what you were saying is, what are parameters, things that I can work with, so you can kind of get a mind or a guide to go along with to know what you can or can't do. So pretty much it's standard. Usually you can do anything from 150 square feet to 1,200 square feet. So 1,200 square feet, as you guys know, is pretty big. Even like in San Diego, there's places that are 600 square feet, and that's big to them. So yes, 1,200 square feet is usually the limit. There is some counties and municipalities that do impose different setbacks, but per California law, that is the standard, 150 to 1,200. Now, I heard you notice junior ADU. I know you might have picked that up earlier from another time we spoke. Yes, there is a regular ADU and a junior ADU. So what's the difference? A junior ADU is most of the times just a conversion, such as a garage conversion, where it's converting an existing structure, and it has to be under 450 square feet for that threshold. If it's under 450 square feet, it's considered a junior ADU. And that allows us to build another ADU on the property, whether it be attached or detached. And yes, we are able to build up. Now, that is depending on a few setbacks and rules as well. You know, the planning department in Oakland might be a lot different than the one in Los Angeles. So some do impose different rules and tell us what height we can go to. Most of the times it's 18 feet. And guys, I want you to consider as well, it's about 8 feet and 8 feet per floor. And they usually measure from the peak of the roof, not the interior roof. So it's a fun little fact. If you want some more information on that, reach out to me and I'll get you something going. But yes, 18 feet is usually the rule. 2 stories are doable. We have done them multiple times before.
Nice.
Single story with vaulted ceilings with a loft as storage area. All of that is available to do. Just depends how complex the project is. But yes, those are things that you are allowed to do. Like I said, 150 to 1200 is usually the size range where these things go to, depending obviously on how much property lot area you have,
That you have.
and then what we can do with the property as well.
So you
So
were telling me about you can build an ADU on a condo complex?
yes, I'm
That
working
blew
on
my
that right
mind.
now. Yes. So at first, I was dealing with a lot when I first started at Urbatect a while back. We were working with just the cookie cutter things you can think of, a detached, garage conversion, 400 square feet, 500 square feet, real simple stuff. And then I started getting the big guys, like the people that are in charge of multiple unit
Right.
apartments and condos and stuff like that. Like we're currently working on one in Los Angeles right now that is an 18 unit apartment complex, and we're looking to convert the garages because they are all attached garages to the main unit, and they want to convert all the garages. Now there is some setbacks with the planning department. We can't convert all 18 garage spots, but we can convert up to a certain amount of ADUs that's allowed. And in doing that, now we're obviously going to get into a very detailed planning, load bearing walls, all kinds of complex things that go into
A
big
lot of
projects
details.
like this. Yeah, but we're not afraid to tackle any big project like that. So if you know anyone, if you yourself are interested in building something that can gain some more revenue from a big multifamily unit you already have, yes, that is a possibility.
Wow.
Even if you own something as small as just a duplex, a 2 unit home, and it's in a residential area. I've built duplex ADUs on a multifamily property lot. So we have one going right now in Alhambra, California, down there in SoCal. And it's a 2 unit duplex unit. And in the back, we are building a 2 story ADU unit, 600 square feet on the bottom, 600 on top. It's exterior stairs to obviously separate the living spaces. So there is no interior stairs. We got approved by that because of the due diligence we do when we reach out to the planning department beforehand to find out what we can or can't do. And that allows us to put together a proposal for them and start moving this project forward. So that one did take a little bit of work in order to find out what we could do with the planning department, the building department. We talked to everyone you can think of. So yes, there is a lot of possibilities. We're not just limited to single residential homes. We deal in mixed residential, commercial. Sky's the limit.
It's
So
awesome.
ADUs don't really have any boundaries, is what I'm seeing nowadays.
Well, yeah, and there's been a lot of legislation that's passed around this, guys. But yeah, now's the
Yes.
time. I mean, don't get blindsided. Exercise your options, and this is definitely one of those super viable ones. But of course, every one of them is different. Everybody's got a different property. It's like shoes, right? Everybody's got a different size, different type, right? You got to talk
Yeah.
to Jason. That's where he comes in, so that you can
Yes.
drill down into the specifics. So I wanted to thank you again, Jason, for hopping on and really giving us
Of
the
course.
possibilities. I'm going to put his information as well, guys, in the description, as well as a couple of links to some more ADU information. But give him a call today, whether you're an agent or whether you're an investor or a person just
Mhm.
looking to maximize your backyard. Give him a call today, because this guy, as you can see, not only is he very competent, he knows his stuff, but he's very confident because he's backed by a really great company called Urbatect. So thank you again, Jason. Have a great day, man. And let's keep this rolling. Let's do
Yes,
another
sir.
one on any kind of updates that come up. Thank you,
That's
sir.
great. Yeah, I'd love to do that. Thank you guys, everyone. I'd
Thank
love
you,
to talk
everyone.
to you soon. Thank you.
Have a great day.